You know, I'm going to say this before I get into this video. And I just got to be honest with something. By the way, this is from comicbook.com. It's a reliable, to me, it's a very reliable site. I think it's a lot of people that go on comicbook.com, and it's a reliable site. You got to look up the reliable sites. Okay? I wouldn't get this from something that's unreliable. But comic book, I know for certain it is reliable. I know for certain. But it's on different sites. It's on a lot of different sites. I got this from Facebook, a reliable source on Facebook. So make sure that if you're getting news like this, make sure you get it from a reliable site. And make sure that it's from different sites too. That you're not just getting just one story on one site. Because if it's from multiple sites, especially those that's reliable, it got to be true, right? Let me get to what I was going to say before I get into this here. I have watched Raw and SmackDown every week, and I know how terrible the shows are. And I always said to myself, what would Raw be or SmackDown be without Vince McMahon? Would it be better or would it be just the same or worse? And I always thought, if Triple H can get back his power, he can change the whole brand. I'm talking about the whole company of WWE. I'm talking about Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Bring it back to its glory days. That is what WWE fans want right now. This, if it's true, and the board is really investigating, if this is really true, it just might happen. Vince McMahon might have to step down because there's been numerous accusations from many years ago. From many years ago. And this man's a billionaire. We know about some billionaires in America. They do things, they pay hush-hush money, and then some of it goes away. And then others like this comes back up. But I believe this because Vince is a billionaire, and he's an old billionaire at that. Let's get into the story. Let's just get into the story. WWE board investigating $3 million hush pact involving Vince McMahon. I tell you, if Vince steps down because of accusations like this, and because there may be not just accusations, but there may be proof of the accusations, Vince might have to step down. And that's going to be wonderful for WWE fans like me, who's been watching since the early 80s. Because Raw and SmackDown, the way it is in NXT right now, is trash. It's absolute trash. No wonder AEW is doing so better. Vince McMahon is being investigated by WWE's board for allegedly paying a secret, $3 million settlement for to a former employee that he was allegedly having an affair with, according to the Wall Street Journal. We all know the Wall Street Journal. An unnamed employee, a paralegal hired in 2019, signed an agreement that prevents them from discussing the relationship, which is a non-disclosure agreement. Everybody knows about the NDA. No, everybody knows about that. The board, according to the new report that dropped on Monday, found multiple other non-disclosure agreements, like I just said. And I didn't read this until now. I didn't read any of this. What I'm reading to you right now is, I'm just reading it to you. I didn't read it before doing this video. What I'm trying to say. Signed by former employees of alleged misconduct by McMahon and WWE head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis. People power. It's unknown. Oh man, I can't wait from JD from NY to to get on this story here. I love how JD from NY. I love how he does his stuff. I watch that man every single episode that he does. Shout out to JD from NY, by the way. Watch his stuff. You know, I'm telling you, that man be spot on with his commentary. He's very good at what he does. Let me just say that. It's unknown how many non-disclosure agreements have been found, but the report stated that McMahan used his own money to pay off the former employees. A WWE spokesperson told Wall Street Journal that the company is cooperating fully with the board inquiry and that the relationship with the ex-paralegal was consensual. Sorry about that. Adding that the allegations are being taken seriously. Now, because this is more than one event, but because this is more than one woman that came forth, now they're taking it seriously. If it was just one or maybe two, that's one thing. But there's been multiple. Now, it could be three, or it could be two or three, or whatever the case may be. But you know what? There's probably been a lot more than that. Vince McMahon has been a billionaire for a long time. And we know of people that has a lot of money. You know, sometimes we know what they do with all that money that they have. It's Bill Cosby, Jeff goes, what was his name? Epstein. I think even Donald Trump, but I ain't gonna get into that because that's a whole different. Because I know there's some Donald Trump fans in there, so I'm not gonna get into that. But we know what billionaires do. You know, they do some dirt. Trust. Jerry McDevitt, McMahon's attorney, wrote a letter to the paper denying the accusation, saying WWE did not pay any monies to the former employee when she left the company. The board members were informed of the $3 million payment via a series of anonymous emails from someone claiming to be a friend of the recipient. Anonymous emails sent to someone on the board. Anonymous emails were sent to somebody on the board that was a former employee. Okay. The first email said McMahon doubled the woman's salary after their relationship began, and that McMahon gave her like a toy to Laurinaitis. Wow. So he got done with her, and then he passed her on to People Power. John Laurinaitis, People Power. Okay. A friend was so scared she quit after Vince McMahon and lawyer Jerry McDevitt paid her millions of dollars to shut up, the email read. A copy of the non-disclosure agreement was sent by McMahon's lawyers to the board on June 12th. Just, what was that, a few days ago? Okay. So, yeah, WWE has since sent out a statement within the company regarding the report. The Wall Street Journal has published a report about WWE with allegations that we and our board of directors take seriously. We are cooperating fully with the independent investigation initiated by our board of directors. So, McMahon is on the hot seat. He's on the hot seat. And could this be true? Knowing that Vince McMahon has a ton of money, he really don't know what to do with. And a lot of these people that have a ton of money, they just do things that they know they can get away with it just by paying hush money. You know, if you could go out here and, you know, just do things with a woman, do things with anybody, and pay them off, have them sign a non-disclosure agreement. That's like, you know, okay, you signed this, I'm paying you millions of dollars, you can't say a word. And then For some cases, it goes years and years. Sometimes it goes decades until the woman comes forward, and finally tells a story after all this time. I don't know what is. I don't know. Like, it's just this thing where like you put in a contract, you say you can never, or it just says that you can't say anything. Can you never say anything again, or do you just can't say? That's two different things. The reason why I say that is because if it says on the agreement that you can never say anything about this, and someone says something anyway, you could take that to court because they wrote on the agreement. You could take that to court and say this person said that they would never say anything about this, but then that also exposes the person who did the crime. So I don't know. I mean, it's just something I'm thinking about. Did that thing say you just can't say anything, or you can never say anything? Because if it just said you can't say anything, then you can go ahead and a few months down the line and say something about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just two different things. Just like when Amber Heard saying, donating and pledging. It's two different things. It's two different things. I should have put that in my last video, and I forgot to say that too. But anyway, let's get back to Vince, because if this is true, Vince may have to step down in the WWE. If the board gets on this, the board is over Vince McMahon's head. It's like, checks and balances. It's just like Congress, checks and balances. You know what I'm saying? They can go over, I don't know if, in a president's situation, it's different. But a president of a company, someone can be an interim chairman, and they can step someone down being president, being the CEO of a company. It's different from being the president of the United States. You can't sit someone down from being a president. Once you're president of the United States, you're there until somebody else takes over. But if you're president, CEO of a company, you can have a board, and they come together and they say, you know what? We're gonna have this person step down, and someone's gonna take their place temporarily until we find a permanent position. It's a different thing. So the board can actually have Vince McMahon step down because he's obviously abusing his power. He's abusing his money by paying off, and he's also abusing his power, But if this happens, if Vince McMahon steps down, what I want to happen is that Triple H takes over and bring back the glory days of WWE. The reason why AEW is doing so well is not only because they're competition and because they have different creative things that they're doing over there, and they're just making they're making a lot of money. Not as much as WWE, but they're making a lot of money. It's because Tony Khan cares about his people. He cares. Vince McMahon don't care. He will fire you if he sees nothing in you. That's why a lot of people jump ship to AEW. Nobody's job in WWE is secure. Nobody's. Look at all the people that Vince has let go because he didn't see no money in them. He didn't see them bringing him any money or whatever. So he gets rid of them. That's what Vince McMahon does. He abuses his power. The creative side, the creative team, it's all yes men. They can't do anything without kissing Vince McMahon's and Bruce Pritchard's ass. They're just there to basically say, yeah. The creative team on the WWE is so creatively bankrupt, it's ridiculous. Why you think Raw and SmackDown do so horribly every single week. By the way, once again, check out JD from NY. Check him out. But why I'm telling you, you got to check him out. He just does a fantastic job just tearing a new asshole into all these people that just, WWE in particular. He likes AEW, but anyway, I'm ranting on again. But we need Vince McMahon to step down. And I've been thinking about this for a long, long time. What if something was to happen? I'm not saying death on Vince McMahon, but what if something was to happen and Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard, you got to put Bruce in there too, because that's the right-hand man to Vince. Bruce Pritchard is the right-hand man to Vince. So if something happens to Vince, Bruce got to go too. Yes, Bruce got to go. So, you don't want Bruce Pritchard taking over, which could happen, but if the board was smart, they would get rid of him too. And people power, John Laurinaitis, people power, get rid of him. He ain't making nothing better either. But I would hope that if Vince stepped down and something was to happen, I would hope that the company would do so much better having Triple H come back and give him back his powers. Let him be the interim CEO for a while until you find a permanent replacement. Or give him the job, as permanent CEO, whatever. But if something got to happen where Vince is out of the picture, he got to go. I can't even watch wrestling the way I used to. And I love wrestling. I can't watch it. So I'm hoping that Vince, this thing is true. I don't even care no more because I want Vince gone. If this thing is true, Vince got to go. Vince got to step down. You can ride off to the sunset with your billions of dollars and go do something else. I don't care. I don't even care if he goes to jail. I don't care. Whatever you do, send Bruce with him. Send Bruce. Bruce got to go wherever Vince go, Bruce goes. So that's all my take on that, But man, Vince, you're in the hot seat right now, man, and it's looking bad for you.